Swiggity swag, what's in the bag? Jay here, and we just finished up our Dark Rising Order Destroy Let's Play here on the channel. So now it is time for us to do a review of the game. So if you guys are unaware of how these reviews go, I give you guys a little bit of information about the game, the good with the game, the bad with the game, and then my overall opinion about the game. And keep in mind that all of this is my personal opinion, so you do not need to agree with it, but as long as you respect it, I will respect yours. And if you don't agree with my opinion, or if you agree with it, let me know down in the comment section below. And if you play through the game or you watch me play through the game, what did you guys think of the game? And let me know down in the comment section below as well. And if you enjoyed this review, do not forget to leave a like down below to show your support on the channel and on the video itself. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this review. So starting off with good things about the game, one good thing about the game is that it's a short game. Okay, with a game like this where you're unable to heal throughout the majority of the game and you're unable to capture wild Pokemon, it's good that this game was short, because if this game was any longer, I don't really think people would like play through the game fully, or they probably just wouldn't play through the game at all. Now, with that being said, there will be those people that, you know, love the game because it's super duper hard, extremely difficult. You know, you're not able to heal your Pokemon, so you're like, yeah, it adds to the challenge, it adds to the thrill. But other than those people, I feel like a lot of people really appreciate that this game is short because of just how much the game is sort of stacked against you when you start playing it. So I like the fact that the game is short. Another thing I liked about the game is that they explain what happens directly after the main character dies in Dark Rising 2. So if you guys remember, the main character dies in Dark Rising 2 after he seals Darugus, and Hoopa is now the new ruler of the world essentially. And now we know what happens afterwards, and we know from the point of view of the best friend, which I think that's really interesting how, you know, they changed the point of view of, you know, of the game, and it's like now you know how everything happens just from Josh's point of view, or not Josh's, but you know, the main character's best friend's point of view. And I think that's really cool. Another thing I liked about the game is that they have later generation mons in an early generation game. I always like when games do that. For example, we have a Greninja, which is a generation 6 mon in a 3rd gen game. I think that's really cool, and I like the fact that they took the time out of the day to put the Greninja sprite in the game and put Greninja's moveset and stuff in the game as well. And we also have fairy types in this game now because Darugus is gone, so we have fairy Pokemon, and fairy is a really good type. We have megas, and we just have a lot of generation 6 stuff in this game, and I really like that. Another thing I liked about the game is that they gave you an overpowered starter. Okay, you start the game off with a Mega Charizard Y, and honestly, if you start, I mean, look, Mega Charizard Y is a really good Pokemon. It has Roost on it, it has some stabs and all of that. It's such a good mon to start off with in this game. And not only that, but the game is set up to where you can essentially two-shot or even one-shot a lot of Pokemon with Mega Charizard Y. And not only that, but you have Roost on your moveset as well, so you can heal yourself, so you don't have to rely on things like Super Potion or potions or anything like that. And you know, you have ether, so you can ether up your Roost until you get to the machine, or you get to the healing Whismur. And you know, again, you can just one shot, two shot pretty much anything that stands in your way, and you're gonna be solo running the game with Charizard for a majority of the game. Okay, you will be solo running it with Charizard because Charizard is just that good of a Pokemon. Another good thing about the game that I found to be really interesting was the concept of not being able to capture Pokemon. So I like the fact that you don't have to worry about getting Pokeballs or anything like that because you can't catch Pokemon anyway, and every Pokemon that you get is essentially gifted to you, or you find it on the ground somewhere. And a lot of these Pokemon that you get are able to Mega Evolve and become severely broken. Like you get an Absol, you get an Electrike, you get a Carbink that you can trade for a Diancie later on, you know, and all these Pokemon can Mega Evolve, and you essentially have a full team of Mega Pokemon. And it's like, yo, that's crazy, that is wild, but that's also cool. And the last good thing about the game is the fact that you can't heal, but they give you so many healing items to the point where you're not even really worried about healing. I mean, I was worried because it was my first time playing through the game, but when you have Charizard with Roost, you're not necessarily worried about healing at all because you're going to be using Roost a lot of the time, and then you just ether your Roost back, and then you just Roost again, and you're essentially good. And again, you're carrying the game with Charizard. You will be solo running the game with Charizard and really no other Pokemon, because you can't grind because you can't grind because you don't have infinite PP or anything like that. and if your Pokemon dies, it's essentially dead until you get a rare candy to bring it back to life, or until you get to the machine or the healing Whismur to get them back up to running speed and everything. But other than that, I do like the fact that they give you so many different healing items. Well, not really so many different healing items, but they give you potions and super potions, and you just find them all over the place. So I really like that about the game. So now that we've gone over the good things about the game, let's go over the bad things about the game. And one bad thing about the game is that it stresses the machine, but once you get to the machine and once you go past the machine, you can't go back to the machine. And I think that's really weird and really silly. How, again, they stress the machine so much in the game to the point where you start stressing about the machine. And not only that, but when you get to the machine, they sit there and they 100% tell you, hey, you might want to leave some of your Pokemon in the machine so you can catch more later on, just in case you find more of your Pokemon. And you're like, yeah, that's a good idea. That's because it is a good idea, because if you have 6 Pokemon, they automatically go to a PC, right? So, hey, I should leave some of my Pokemon that I'm not using in the PC and, you know, in the machine, and I'll be good to go. Well, once you leave the machine, you can't go back. Like, once you go past the machine and outside, you can't go back to the machine. So then those Pokemon that you left in the machine are gone forever, and you can't get them back ever. And I think that is severely broken. Like, the game itself tricks you into keeping Pokemon in the machine just so your party is smaller. Like, that's wild. Obviously, you would never think of even leaving Charizard in there because Charizard's your carry, and there are a lot of other Pokemon that are, you know, very, very beneficial. Like, honestly, if someone didn't mention Carbink, if someone didn't mention to keep Carbink around, I would have left Carbink in the machine, and I wouldn't have been able to get a Diancie. Which, I mean, at the same time, again, Charizard carried me through the entire game, and I didn't really have to use any other Pokemon, but, you know, that doesn't matter. What matters is they trick you into keeping Pokemon in the machine, and I think that's messed up. They stress the machine so much, and then you can't go back to it once you leave. So it's like, that's just messed up to me. And the last bad thing about the game is that this game just seems like it's a troll game, okay? It seems like the game trolls you at every given moment. You know, like Hoopa itself is a troll. Hoopa mentions that they're a troll. They mention that they're a troll. They break the fourth wall continuously. And they're like, oh, you think I'm some evil villain that's gonna battle you right here and now? Well, nope, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna play by your rules, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, what is happening? And then, like, Hoopa just appears out of nowhere, left and right. And it's like, Hoopa, why are you even here? And it just makes no sense. And I'm just like, I don't know. There's like a ton of different references in this game. Like, there's like a Persona reference, Bleach or whatever. Scooby-Doo. Like, it's just, there's just so many different references in this game, and I'm just like, what is actually going on with this game? Not only that, but at the end of the game, you're destined to lose, okay? Because Hoopa, when you fight Hoopa at the end of the game, Hoopa is level 100. Okay, and you do not have level 100 Pokemon by the time you get to Hoopa. You will not have a level 100 Pokemon by the time you get to Hoopa. Okay, your highest level will probably be 50, and that's when you grind right before you fight Hoopa. Okay, like, you have to lose the game, because apparently, even if you cheat in rare candies, like you cheat in rare candies and you level up to 100, apparently you battle Hoopa until you lose. And it's just like, really? So we stress the machine, we stress beating Hoopa, we stress all of this stuff only to lose at the end of the game. Like, what? Like, I don't get it. It baffles me. It baffles me, and I don't know. Like, it makes sense because this game is basically here to set up Dark Rising 3, but at the same time, I'm just like, all of that just to get swept by Hoopa. All right, that's cool, bro. So overall, what do I think of the game? Well, the game is important because, like I said, it sets up Dark Rising 3. You get introduced to a lot of characters that will be in Dark Rising 3 more than likely, like Zyro, Zyrie, Joel, etc. You know, they will be in Dark Rising 3, and you know, we need to know who those characters are. Otherwise, this game, like, if you need to know about the story, play this game. It's a short game, and you can literally just sweep through with a Charizard, and that's all you really need. But otherwise, like, if you don't really care about the story or anything like that, you can definitely skip this game. If you played Dark Rising 1, 2, and Worlds Collide, I haven't played Worlds Collide yet, but I'm going to at some point. But if you've played through Dark Rising 1 and 2, then yeah, go ahead and play through this one just so you know what's going on when you get to Dark Rising 3. Otherwise, this is probably a game that you guys can skip, because like, you have to play the first 2 games in order to even know what's going on in this game anyway. And if you don't even care about Dark Rising, then you know, you won't care about this game at all. But if you do care about Dark Rising, then you will care about this game. But it's not like, it's an interesting game, it's a different game, it's an interesting concept, but other than that, like I said, you have to play Dark Rising 1 and 2 in order to understand what's going on in this game. And that's pretty much about it. But the game itself is not super bad, and nothing is super over leveled. If anything, you're the one who's going to be over leveled. Like, you're the one who's going to be like spiking levels like crazy, because you're going to be carrying with Charizard. So you don't have to worry about, you know, Pokemon being higher level than you, because you will always be higher level than them, just because, again, soloing with Charizard carry. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the review here. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys did, don't forget to hit the like button down below to show your support. If you guys enjoyed the game or you didn't enjoy the game, let me know why you didn't enjoy the game or why you enjoyed the game down in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.